Good afternoon, Divine Feminine. This is my Gypsy Hermitage Tarot. Welcome to my channel. When it comes to donating to my channel or booking me for a personal reading, please see the description box below. I would love to do some personal readings for you guys. I haven't done any in about a couple of months, except for like family and friends, which I do on a regular basis. But anywho, I just wanted to come on and do a little talk about self-care and self-acceptance. I created a playlist of music, of different genres of music for this video, but also for my channel. So if you ever need, because for me, music, oh my God, it's such a healing thing. I'm the kind of person, and I know a lot of Black women are this way. We're so strong because we have to deal with so much. We get so much from what this world is. And yeah, it makes us impossibly strong sometimes. So not even impossibly, just badass women. And so, like, it's not a fluke with us. And so, because of that, in my case anyway, it's hard for me to cry. And I know that sounds like, oh my God, Gypsy, poor Gypsy can't cry. It's not that I can't cry, like I cry if my children are hurt, I cry if I'm watching a movie and someone in the movie is upset. But just to sit and cry for myself, like I don't have a lot of pity parties. Even if I do feel like something is unjust, that kind of pity party, yes. But yeah, I'm not just a big crier. And so when I know I need to get it out, which I'm going to tell you some things about, a brief scenario from my twin flame journey, it's sometimes hard for it to come out. And so I use music, and it's specific music. Sometimes it used to be like Fantasia winning American Idol, just that, underdog winning type of thing. Oh my God, it used to get me. And then, just her crying and singing, or her crying in the movie that she did about her life, her crying when she's pregnant and she walks into the church, right, where her grandmother is speaking, where she wasn't accepted because she was an unwed mother. That gets, used to really get me. But these days, once something works for a while, it doesn't work anymore. And so there's new music that this one song, River, by this young man, I think it's Leon something, but you'll see. I love that song so much. It's the very first song on the playlist, and then I found like 3 or 4 live performances him and his band did that are the last 3 or 4 on the playlist, but it's for the same exact song. It just hits your soul. And I listened to all of the songs I've chosen. I've listened because not only the melody but the words. There's something in the words that's a message for me, and I want to share it with you guys. There's okay, don't judge me, but I am a Pisces, so I can be a little bit obsessive when I like something. So there's like 54 or 55. I think it's 55. 55 music videos on this playlist, okay? So you don't have to listen to the whole playlist. It's just for your enjoyment or need. If you ever just need something that, there's definitely songs on there that reflect the twin flame journey. There's definitely just like love songs. There's songs that's just about sexiness that, it's a lot. Most of the music I love is like R&B. I mean classical R&B, not culture vulture, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second too. But authentic R&B, meaning it's recorded and created by Black people, that's our music genre. And then I also love reggae, but I also got a little country in there. I got some pop in there. Ballads. I love ballads. So I love, Latino music. So there's some of that in there. What I don't like, and this is just my personal preference, this is my channel, so this is my perspective. This is my truth, okay? I don't like every race on the planet biting into my culture. And guess what? Nobody else likes that shit either. And nobody else has to suffer it except for me and my people. Just so you know, just to keep it 100, like the young people say, I'm going to keep it 100 because I'm old school to the bone. I remember in my lifetime only listening to R&B music back to like the 70s music. My father had a vast record collection, and it was just us. And we listened to that practically every night. He had a huge stereo system in our living room. It was a whole wall. He had a microphone because some of us could sing a little because his father was a professional musician. And so he would have us sing for his mom on her birthday or things like that. And so it was just a big part of our life. I love music. I love it. Now, I'm very international, so I also, in my teenage years, when I first went away to college, I made friends. I lived in the international dorm, so I had friends from all around the world, including white friends from America that we never would have met each other if it wasn't for that dorm experience. But also people from Asia, from Africa, from Arabia, just all races, and we were all friends, you know what I mean? And we just accepted each other like 100%. We didn't fetishize each other like, let me touch your hair, no, let me see this, or oh my God. We didn't treat each other like that. It was like a really pure experience. And so we fell in love with this South African music group. Well, Miriam Makeba was a singer that my father played records for. She was a wonderful South African vocalist. But there was this group called the Lady Smith Mambazo, something like that. Lady Smith Black Mambazo, something like that back then. And they had done a record with Paul Simon. Was it Paul Simon? Was that his name? He was a folk singer, American folk singer. Was he American or British? I can't remember. I think he was American. And my friends and I like memorized the songs and knew these songs. So when I went back home on a break from school, my father and his friends were so impressed that I knew this South African music by heart, you know. And so I'm just saying that I just love music. I love the message of it. I especially love it. I do love some rap music, and I'm not downplaying rap. It's a part of my culture. I do love it. I know what it comes from. I love the energy of it, but the message is important to me because I'm old school. So back in my day, it was you know, conscious rap was what we called it, and it came from our struggle for authentic freedom that we still don't have in this country, and so, or in the world. And so but I don't think I put any. Do I have rap? I might have some Tupac. I love Tupac, so I think I do have some Tupac on there. I have some Nicki Minaj, but other than that, yeah. So anyway, I don't have culture vulture music. If it's anybody, I don't care if it's Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is not black, you know what I'm saying? But he does R&B, or it's pseudo R&B, or you know, like I don't listen to his music. I don't put Adele up, you know. I don't, and she really is more of a ballad singer. But I mean, she did pattern her. I get the feeling like she patterns some of her singing after black women, but I really think it's more of a pop thing. It's not like what's her name? Something J. Jessie J. Definitely culture vulture. People like that, I don't listen to that because, you know, I just think that there's nothing wrong with different races having their own culture. That's what makes the world rich. That's what makes humanity so beautiful. So I don't like that. I don't get down with stuff like that, especially because my people are too preyed upon anyway. So you do have a very great diversity of music. Any white artist that I love, whether it's country or pop, is going to be authentic to their culture, and I love it for exactly what it is, and mainly the message in all of the music that I listen to. So check it out. I put it up. I'm adding it to the end of this video. It's for you. It's for me, because I go and find this stuff, and put it on my writer's page anyway, but I wanted to create a playlist just for you guys, that I can share a part of what I love, a part of myself, as a giving, if you find comfort in it, or fun, or whatever, if it feeds your soul, whatever you can find on this playlist, I want you to find, okay? Look at this. So I have 5 sisters. One of my sisters, she's a Gemini. She sent my children and I 2 huge boxes for Christmas, and in it was just like a plethora of mugs, right? To me, this is like a tankard, and I love like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, so I'm just like, I'm having a tankard of ale. It's really chicken broth. So the reason I wanted to do a playlist for you guys is because I'm the quintessential hermit. Like, I really do just live in my own bubble. With spikes in this new variant of COVID, me and my babies have been quarantined probably for 2 years since it first broke out. And so, well, not 2 years. It's really just been almost, it has been almost 2 years now, by March 16th of this year. So anyway, I'm always finding ways for us to be happy, and it's very simple ways for us to be happy. I'm a very simple person, and music is one of those ways for me, because I'm a single mother. I don't have a lot of support, and what was I saying? I'm sorry, I'm going to be 55 this year, you guys, in March, so sometimes, Okay. I was saying that to say that, yeah, I find I had I had a moment on my Facebook writers page where I give free exposure to Black entrepreneurs, whether they're visual artists or studio artists or writers or entrepreneurs. And I've built up my friends list to be close to 5,000. It used to be 5,000, but sometimes, me and the people on there will have a difference of opinion, and they'll just leave. And I'm like, okay. But it's also a Black community for me, because I haven't been in a Black community for many years. And yeah, I need it. And my children need it. And so, what I find, and you all may even find this as servants, in the realm of tarot or whatever you do on social media or whatever you do in your life, you can give your whole heart to people, and they will still find some tiny way to hate you. Isn't that some shit? Like, when I first started pursuing my writing after I finished my master's, there was a person that approached me, or I think he was a member of my writer's page, and he approached me to give me exposure on his page where he knew people in publishing and that type of thing, which I have people in publishing on my page. I have people that have worked in Hollywood in their career. I have people in higher education, all kinds of fields of Black America and Black all over the world, really. And he was gonna charge me like $100 for just to post my stuff for one day, just for one day, multiple posts, in the hopes of that someone would take an interest, and give me a break. I have been doing this same exact work practically every day. I'm sharing multiple people's posts Do you hear me? For free. And I started this. God inspired me to do this. Even just with the concept of it, I did it on the exact day I was inspired to do it, in July 18th of 2019, for free. And you want to nitpick me because I put something up, a post up, and didn't give some long commentary about it. It had to do with Black history, and Black people, we know our history. We understand it. We know what we've suffered. We know what our accomplishments have been, especially in America. So for someone to come and try and nitpick me on the fact that I didn't give a commentary and like, what? You need me to spoon feed you for your thought process? It pissed me off. It pissed me off. And I'm sorry that I get pissed off. Okay, my divine, whenever I pull cards from Divine Feminine, other than other cards, I do get a variety of cards, but I most always get the Joan of Arc card. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be. It's not an ego-driven thing. I'm the second born. Anybody that has multiple children, you know that second born baby, that's your rebel. That's the motherfucker, right? They're the ones that will fight for their siblings. They will fight for their parents. That's Solange, that's Beyonce's sister fighting Jay-Z in the fucking elevator and shit. I fought for I have 6 siblings. I defended any fight I ever got into was for them. The one time I almost got into a fight, it had to do with somebody that was setting me up to have a beef with somebody, and like everybody, like the half the school, followed us. When we, at the end of the day, she was like, fine, we gonna fight. Now this was someone that had big brothers who would always back her up and say nobody better not hurt her or whatever. I didn't have nobody backing me up but God. So, but I wasn't a punk. So no, I'm not gonna feel until I don't care who you bring in, right? So we get to the point where we're supposed to fight. She said, I heard you said such and such about me. My only response was, okay. I love me, I'm sorry. And she said, I don't want to fight. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying that only to say that I accept myself. That's my only reason for saying that. I accept me. I love myself. I do. Do I have things I wish I was stronger in? I do. But this is the soul of a warrior being born under the sign of a Pisces. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. But God gave me, like the father that he gave me, the mother that he gave me, on purpose. Because through my father's family, my grandmother was a strong Gemini. Like she was not for the streets, but she raised 3 boys and a girl. All of her sons, she married a man who basically was a musician on the Chitlin circuit of the South. So the Chitlin circuit was that same circuit that Ray Charles went through before he was famous, or that got his fame, because it put you in contact of all of the black consumers, right, of the South. That's who would set any musician of their time up into fame. If you go through the Chitlin circuit for a certain number of years, you're known at the end of that. You're known after a certain period of time among black people, and record companies want to sign you because that's an economy, that's a consumer base. And so my grandfather, he worked the he worked the Chitlin circuit, and he played the trumpet, I believe, and he also sang. One of his most notable positions was as a band member for Ella Fitzgerald. And so I'm just saying that because he wasn't there. He wasn't there to raise his children. And so my grandmother really must have instilled in her sons, no, you're going to be family, man. You're not going to be out here like this. And they all did. They all had families, stayed and raised their children and things like that. And so her mother, now my great grandmother, my grandmother's mother, was a badass. Oh my God. Like, she had about 3 husbands. She had her last baby at 52. She lived to be 98. Little bitty, and they said she was part Native American, very short, and most of us are not short in this generation, but she was very petite, very thin, and they said the records that one of my cousins found was that she lived so long because she ate a mostly plant-based diet. But one of her husbands, I think he might have been a little mental and was trying to snatch one of their children, or the child that he had with her, and she ran him off sitting on the edge of a sofa with a gun. Like, you better get out of here. She was not a punk. So, you know what I mean? It's like, when you have a destiny to be a certain type of feminine, there are different types. There's a reason there's a deck. There are probably multiple decks, and not even just that. It's about a spirit. It's about the implication of your soul. Like, as tough as and not even tough, because I am nurturing. Like, I am sweethearted. I am. You know, I am a traditional woman. I'm just not a punk. You're just not going to talk to me any old kind of way, treat me any old kind of way. You got to fight male, female, white, black, whatever you are. I am authentic to the truth and my soul. I worship God. I don't worship you. You see what I mean? So I don't care who doesn't like the way I talk on my channel. I don't care if y'all feel butthurt, if I get a little too truthful. I don't care. Not that I don't care about your feelings. I don't care that it's a problem for your comfort level, for your privilege. I don't care about that. But I have defended in my life. Anyway, I remember there was a Mexican woman at one of my jobs whose husband was abusing her, who was beating her. Not on the job, but that was their relationship. And one time I had gone to the bed. I was only 19. No, 8. How old was I? 19. I was only 19. This woman was probably grown, like, you know, in her 20s, further along in her 20s. And I just could feel there was a situation when I went to the ladies' room. And so I noticed he's standing outside the door, but he had the door open and he's telling her to come out, and she clearly looked afraid. So I just stood there. I didn't even go to the stall. I stood there and said, "Do you need help? Is there something you want me to do? You don't have to go out there. You don't have to listen to him. You don't have to be with him. Do you have children with him?" She was like, "No." She started crying. I've always been the type of person, I don't have, even if I have a fear, even if I'm nervous in the moment, I am going to stick up for the underdog. Always. I've never been a bully for someone who's weak, except, you know, when it came to my oldest sister, because my father put her in charge and I was next in line, and under me was a Gemini, or Gemini twins, and the oldest Gemini and me were like, oh, we were mean. And we used to tell her, "You don't tell me what to do." I'm sorry. But other than that, you know, and since then, I don't treat my sister bad, but I don't prey on the weak. I only challenge a bully. I only gotta fight for a bully and just a bully, just somebody that is taking advantage of the kindness of others. I'm coming with you. I got you. Give a fuck. And even as I get older, you might topple me over when I'm in my 70s. That's not gonna stop my voice. My spirit is still in my voice. I will still say whatever. And I've done that. I've used my voice against huge dudes. I don't care. If you're wrong, I'ma say that. If I could tell my father when he's wrong, you think I give a fuck? And that's when I was a child? You think I care about telling you? No. Some of us are warriors for truth and for God and for God's people, and that's me. I'm one of those. At the same time, I give the best hugs. I care about if you need a hug. I want to give you that. I want to give you that comfort. I want to tell you that no matter who you are beautiful. If you got messed up teeth, You can go to a dentist school and get work done on your teeth for free or very, very, very cheap. And they will do it. You can have relief. You can still do your glow up. You can probably, not even probably, you can go to a beauty school and get your hair done for free. It might be experimental, but if you're open for it, like especially if you need a touch up, if you have a perm for black women that get relaxers, or if you have straight hair and you get curly perms, you can get your hair done and then if you don't like it, you could just refix the styling of it when you get home. But if you need a treatment, like you want to get a coloring, come on, y'all. Think outside the box. Love yourself. Level up. What's wrong with thrift stores? Who doesn't at this point use a thrift store now? Right now, in my area, I'm avoiding the thrift store because I don't know, who's gonna have bed bugs or what. But when my babies were, I bought everything new. I want to say their first 2 years, but after that, the recession had hit. And so I was like, even though I grew up very bougie, like we were middle class, my parents had master's degrees, like we didn't use no secondhand clothes. We didn't. We had, summer vacations and sports camp and camping trips and shit. So, and with black people, I know that there are white people that are just very frugal. And even if they can afford whatever they need, they do it as a way to save more money. And that's very smart. That's very smart. Like I'll do that now moving forward. I've learned so much from frugal people as a single mother. But I'm just saying the way I was raised, and in the black community, when you afford better, you get all the better. Even when we're poor, our children, you would never know. Because when we care about our children, they are cared for, like, So anyway, I just want more human beings, masculine and feminine, especially the feminine, because sometimes masculines, they'll shoot their shot even if a woman is so above their league. They don't care. If they know they can sling the dick, if they know they can put it down in the bedroom, if they know they will defend you against any adversary, if they know they are, especially those that are not abusive, right, and are good with children, like they're a good uncle to their nieces and nephews, they just don't have a lot of ambition, but they bring a lot to a relationship, they will shoot their shot with the highest echelon of femininity. They will, because they know they're coming with something of value, right? We go in the opposite direction a lot of the times, women, except for those of us that people deem, gold diggers. No, that's just a woman that knows what she wants. To me, what? That's game. Men got all kind of game. They got all kind of reasons to run game. You mean a woman can't be a player just because her game is that she wants to live well and she wants to have the greatest dude, the most successful dude, the most handsome, the most popular? What? She just has to be careful that he's not crazy behind closed doors, but don't hate the player, hate the game. Now, you don't get to put me in the game if I don't choose to be in the game. That's when I hate the game. That's when I'm calling out the player. But other than that, play your hand, Play your hand. But love yourself. Feminines, love yourself. Accept you. For example, I'm so goofy with my children. Somebody that comes into a relationship with me that sees some of the faces I make, or the ways I play with my children where I'm just making them laugh, I just like them to be happy, don't come towards me then. If you only want an arm piece who is always flawless, never breaks her poker face, she's only there to make you look good, that's not me. I don't give a damn how much money you got. I don't care how famous you are. Matter of fact, I've always talked to a famous person and I always meet them. I don't even, it's so funny because I trip out. I don't trip out over who's famous. I don't. I've been in a room. I've been this close to Snoop Dogg before. I don't give a damn. I wasn't fawning all over him. Now there were lines outside of the place I was where our people was just like, Snoop's here, you know. But when I did commit myself to religion, it was God. That's it. That's it. I don't worship nobody but him. I don't. I've met celebrities face. I didn't meet Snoop face to face. He just happened to be there. It was a rap summit. And this was back in the 90s, I believe. And so I helped serve for the dinner. So I got to talk to, a lot of the rappers. They came through the line and I served them, cracked some jokes, or whatever. But no, I wasn't fawning over him. Here, you want more of this? What you want? That's it. I've met people just walking down the street, but I don't, I'm not that, I'm so authentic, and that, Pisces like authenticity. We're not the types of people, I think even those of us that might be a little more weak-willed, we still want to just be ourselves. We just want to be left alone. I mean, we just want, not left alone, but we want to just have the freedom to be ourselves a lot of times. And that's what we have in common with Aquarius, because a lot of times, male or female, Pisces and Aquarius, you will find those types of people, I think, the most, who would just be like, or maybe Scorpio too, who'll be like, I don't need nobody. I don't need to find a love interest. I'm not, I don't need it. You know what I mean? Because unless it's love, especially once we get to a point where we've learned some lessons, unless you really coming to me, because I know I come with love. You know what I mean? If I love you, I love you. And my love is like probably all of the different ways that you can love, but definitely service. But a Pisces, after she learns some lessons, it's like, well, it's like Rihanna, right? I really admire that young lady for her freedom of spirit and her freedom of choices when it's come to if she's gonna love you. And she's the epitome of that Pisces that says, if it's only a smash, motherfucker, that's all I'm showing up for. Lived it. That's how I've always gotten down. I've only allowed myself to fall in love twice. And I do have hope for a better connection in love, for something that's more loyal, because I'm so loyal, but I haven't found the loyalty. Because men, these days, men and women are tried with promiscuity. It's hard. It's hard, but we'll see. Or maybe I'll just, get over it as long as we don't live together. Something, I don't know. There's a shift that happened last night, like literally last night, that I'm more open to my journey. Not to somebody coming back and saying, oh, you're more open, then let me do my bullshit and we could still, no. I had to let go of a friend of mine that I thought was my twin, because that's who I had my awakening with. I was, talking to him when I had my awakening, and then we just, became really codependently attached to each other. And but I put myself first. And so we hadn't even really been dealing with each other since 2019, the later part of 2019. And so he started calling all of a sudden, maybe 2 months ago, and wanting to have really long conversations. And initially it was cool because it was mostly just friendship type stuff, just having fun, laughing and stuff, and getting into deep conversations too. And then I noticed that he was taking note of what we had in common more than he used to. And I'm just like, what's going on? Because you're not going to just come back into my life and slime me and shit, because there was some of that too. And so I started having anxiety about it. Like, I don't know what he's on. And so But he would introduce at the beginning of each conversation, he would introduce, I just want to check on my friend, my beautiful friend, my lifelong friend. How's my lifelong friend doing? I said, oh, we're lifelong friends now. He's like, yeah, we're lifelong friends because we've known each other more than 20 something years. And I'm just like, what is he on? I mean, what's really going on, right? So I'm the kind of person, like I've already said, I am confrontational. I'd like to just get to it. I don't linger. If you about to break, even if somebody's gonna break my heart or disappoint me or whatever, let's just get to that shit. So I could just be on about my life. So I sent him an email 2 days ago, was it? 2 or 3 days ago, saying I'd like to clear the air with you, when you have time, because he had called me 2 days before that and I didn't answer because of something he had disclosed on our last long conversation about his past. And when too many red flags show up, I'm like, yeah, this you don't really, I don't care how long you've known somebody, you don't know their asses. And I'm not judging, I'm not. But I have children and I have girls and I have myself and my family. No, everything don't go. You know how they say everything goes. Everything doesn't go in my life. Not in the world I'm in. It doesn't. No. There's definitely standards. And so I was already feeling like, we need to have a real talk, right? I need to let him know that I'm taking notes and what I've already taken notes about. And so I sent him an email saying I would love to talk to you. His response was that he didn't understand what we needed to clear the air for. We were friends. We've been having wonderful conversations. He thought that was okay, and that if there was anything else that was going to change about it, it would change at the time it's supposed to change and all this shit. And I'm just like, yeah. So I laughed. He was like, he didn't know what I was talking about. Let me tell you, Divine Feminine, don't let nobody manipulate you to shut up. I don't shut the fuck up. Game is funny to me because all my lovers I've chosen because they were players, because I didn't want anything permanent with them. I've always had male friends, and all those people have, it wasn't a lot. Plus just people that I know that are friends of mine, relatives of mine, right? Yeah. I know the game. It's boring if you try and run it on me. So I laughed, and that's how our friendship is anyway. Like, I just laugh at him and like, who you talking to? You think that's deep? And he'll laugh too, or whatever. But in this instance, I sent like a line of laughing emojis and and said, "Cool, friend. Moving forward, this is how it's gonna be." And I basically took out, don't say I love you, don't say you miss me, don't talk about some relationship that I should just settle down to have with you, while in the same conversation you tell me about people you want to fuck. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear anything that doesn't have to do with me or the spirit or the life that I am building for myself. None of it. And as a matter of fact, I don't want to talk to you for a while, just to clear my energy. I'm the priority in my life. You know what I mean? I didn't tell him I was the priority. That's what I'm laying out. You are the priority, feminine. You. I'm about to do an oracle reading for us too. But you, in your life, don't be so thirsty for some dude and you keep letting him slime your energy and get you into devastation. So now I got all these conversations where we've talked and made ourselves in a humble and vulnerable spirit sometimes, where we'll just be peaceful and we're just talking about stuff we got in common and shit. And I'm just like, that's why I started feeling like, no, what's going on? No, he knows what he's doing. And even if we do become authentic friends again, which I'm open to, I have no problem, it won't be in some emotionally vulnerable place that you can manipulate, because I know who you are. You're a player, man. Stop. No. All the years that we've known each other, I knew he was a player. And even when he would flirt, I'd be like, yeah, I hear you. I know what you about. And then we would just part in love, because we were cool like that. But nobody will ever play with me again. But what I learned, the whole lesson was the purpose for us, trying to do all of that. And when we started talking at the end of 2018 and I fell in love and then I walked away and he fell in love, because I used to feel it. He said he felt it. I didn't tell him that I felt the love. He told me that. He could feel this was after I walked away. He was trying to convince me to give us another shot or whatever. And he was like, I can feel the love coming out of you into me. I can feel the love leaving me going into you. Those are soul connections. But if someone's toxic condition is too much for a lifetime, it may not be for you for this lifetime, or at least not in a mainstream way. Some of us are going to have to, just accept the truth of that. Or he's not my divine masculine. He's a kind of, I do believe we are a type of soulmate. I think we're the type of soulmate that will always, because we always have, ever since we met, that we'll always come in and out of each other's lives. We always build each other up to a certain, we always give each other like an unconditional acceptance. We do. But him in a house with me, no, I can't see. Like he sees that, I can't see that. Just because his other ways he would bring home with him. And I'm too much of a fighter for that. Not a physical fight. I don't hit men, but I'm too. No, I would hurt his feelings. I would hurt his feelings on a regular, and I don't know. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to give him more damage. He has enough shit he has to kind of work out, and I don't want to add to it. So a part of our connection was karmic, because he represented the player, which is the non-committal energy. I fell in love with him, but you in a non-committal energy. So now I'm being abandoned, which I have abandonment issues, and I'm cursing him out, which he has issues with people probably treating him in a certain way, or chipping down at his self-esteem. I sincerely don't like to hurt him. I don't. I'm sharing this with you all to show you dynamic, but how also powerful you need to be in still putting yourself first. Still choosing you. So listen to the music on the playlist. I'm going to attach it to this video, and I hope you appreciate it. I've been getting more and more feedback. I love you all's feedback. I love to know that you're getting something from me, especially those of you that are strong enough and to say that you love my authenticity, because I love it too. And I want to give it to you in a way that is crystal clear, that even a baby can understand it. All right? I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments how this resonates. Please, 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 every time y'all listen to my videos, help me build up my channel. Hit the like button, okay? And hit the subscribing button. Most of the people that watch my videos are not even subscribers. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe. I appreciate it. All right? Talk to you. I'm going to do a Divine Feminine Oracle reading right after this, and I hope you come for that, okay? Peace.